United States Senator Ron Johnson joins me. He is in a re-election battle in Wisconsin. He has pulled ahead, according to the latest Marquette University poll, and that poll always understates Republican strength. Good morning, Senator Johnson. Even though the polls always understate Republican strength, it's still good to lead them. That means you're probably 5 or 6 points ahead of Mandela Barnes.
Well, good morning, Hugh. I'm taking nothing for granted. It's Wisconsin. I assume it's a dead even race, and that's how I'm going to conduct my campaign. But I mean, the advantage we have is all I have to do is tell the truth about Mandela Barnes when all they have are lies, distortions, character assassination because they can't defend their record. So it's still dogfight. We need to point out exactly how radical Mandela Barnes is. I think last time you had me on, I think we had a little discussion. Was Fetterman or Mandela Barnes the most radical leftist? I think Mandela Barnes is pulling ahead in that race.
You're gaining ground because John Fetterman can't go out and talk about stuff. But yesterday on Grabian, there surfaced a new Mandela Barnes clip, which I played this morning. I want to play it for you, Ron Johnson. I don't do pre-interviews. I don't know if you've heard it. Here is Mandela Barnes talking about the wealth of America. Cut number 4.
We have to pledge to continue to push forward on that journey of progress and equity. We have to emphasize the importance of grassroots work in every community to push not only our federal and state representatives, but also our local elected officials. And as we've seen over the last several weeks, our school board members especially. And I didn't even get to the point about critical race theory. That's something else too. It would be foolish to assume that the wealth of America was earned justly.
It would be foolish. The wealth of America was earned justly. How is that going to play with the farmers of Wisconsin and the small business people of Wisconsin, Ron Johnson?
I'd say about as well as President Obama's statement that you didn't build that.
Yep.
I think folks in Wisconsin realize that, no, we did build this country. It's those of us who get up, we go to work, and we contribute. And we use freedom to dream, aspire, build, and create this marvel we call America. That's what people like Mandela Barnes don't get. I don't know where radical leftists get their resentment, where they get their grievances. Mandela Barnes, his parents worked. His mom was a Milwaukee school teacher, a public school teacher. His dad worked third shift. But they did send their child, Mandela, to a choice school, to a private school. So they realized that the Milwaukee school system was not good enough for their child. But at the same time, Mandela Barnes wants to deny school choice to other folks that want to have the freedom to get a good education for their kids. I think that clip, by the way, was part of a talk he gave where he said the founding of America was awful. He's implied that our national parks are racist. He is for defunding police, but now he says he's not. Even though he's supported by the leaders of the defund police movement. He wants to abolish ICE, but now he says he doesn't want to do that. So, he can't be honest with Wisconsinites about his real true feelings, what his true beliefs are. And unfortunately, Hugh, the media is covering up for him. They're not asking him questions. He's not exposing himself to questions, just like Fetterman. These radical leftists, again, they almost run sounding like the conservatives. They embrace our ideas to get elected, and then, of course, they do the exact opposite, which is why they're so dangerous.
Well, Senator, I've been urging my audience that every school board at every level, you can't vote for an incumbent unless you're absolutely certain that they are committed to sound curriculum and school choice. And that he, in that clip, Mandela Barnes, is talking, we got to get school boards, and let's talk about CRT, but not here. It sounds like an embrace of CRT, and I don't know whether or not he's been public with that, but it certainly is a legit topic. He introduced it.
Yeah, he's absolutely for critical race theory, but even worse, Hugh, both he and the governor, Evers, their goal was to reduce the prison population in Wisconsin by 50%. We've got a clip of him saying that the reducing the prison population is sexy. So now what they've done is they've actually cut the prison population by 15%, about 884 criminals. Now, wouldn't you think they'd start with the nonviolent? No. Only 11% of that 884, about 100 criminals, were nonviolent. The other ones were violent criminals, including 44 child rapists, 270 criminals who mostly committed or attempted murder. They've left these people on the streets, including somebody who beheaded his wife and threw her head in a wood-burning stove, somebody who raped a 13-year-old somebody who was under 13 years old at the time. These are the people they released from prison, and that's what Mandela Barnes is saying is sexy. Again, you can't make this stuff up. But again, the media's not covering. This is only coming out from conservative news outlets.
Well, the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel hates you, and they hate Republicans, and the Marquette poll is broken. Let me talk about Joe Biden saying two things. COVID is over, and inflation went up just a little bit in August. Food prices at 13.4% year over year in August. Housing prices, according to the Wall Street Journal, for renters and buyers are skyrocketing. What is the president thinking?
Well, he's thinking about the election. He doesn't want to take blame for the inflation he caused. He's depleting our national oil reserve, petroleum oil reserve, for to play politics with it. It's the only reason the inflation stabilized for a month or two. But Hugh, a dollar you owned at the start of the Biden administration is only worth 88.3 cents. If you were a senior on a fixed income, you had the fortune to have $100,000 in a retirement fund at the start of the Biden administration. It's only worth $88,300. It's like the federal government, and this is what they did. They stole $12,000 from you. That's what's happening. That's what happens when you try and inflate your way out of this massive debt and out of control deficit spending. So, again, Democrats can't be honest with you. They can't defend their policies and the disastrous results of them. That's why they got to lie and not convey who they truly are and assassinate my character.
Ron Johnson, I remember so well, 2016. You practically lived on this show. You were considered by all to be a dead meat, and you ran through the tape and you won an upset. This time, you're at worst neck and neck, and I think you're ahead, but you're still going to run through the tape. Where do people contribute to Ron Johnson's Senate campaign?
It's ronjohnsonforsenate.com, spelled all out. They've already spent $70 million against me, Hugh. But that's the least of my worries, because you said it's the media, and that's priceless. The media has been trying to take me out for 2 years because they hate my guts. I'm exposing their corruption. I'm exposing the corruption of the federal government. So, I need a lot of help. ronjohnsonforsenate.com.
Small donors matter. I tell people that. They don't think $25 or $50 or $100 matter, but they do.
It's huge. $5 matters. $3 matters. No, I mean, it's that accumulation of millions of people contributing a buck or two. All of a sudden you have $2 million, and you can run a pretty effective ad telling the Wisconsin voters who Mandela Barnes is so they won't vote for him.
Now, Ron Johnson, the Milwaukee has always eluded me, both as a market and understanding the politics there. What kind of margins do Democrats run up in Milwaukee that have to be set off across the rest of the state? Of course, Madison, where the university is a deep blue bubble. But what about Milwaukee? Do you feel better about your Milwaukee ground game?
One of the things that we've done had nothing to do with politics, is just trying to help people, which is the three-word mission statement of my office, to help people. When I started the Joseph Project, which worked with Pastor Jerome Smith, a wonderful man who's passed, but he was a pastor of an inner-city church, and we just put this program together that we connected employers with people who formerly incarcerated, drug, alcohol abusers. It's transformed their lives in the inner city. So, those kinds of genuine actions, genuine successes, that's noticed in Milwaukee. So I think I've got a pretty good chance of appealing to a segment of the African-American population there, certainly the Hispanic community, who are just naturally conservative. They are faith-based. They're, family-centered. They're hardworking individuals. I mean, those, the Latino population is just naturally conservative. They should vote Republican.
ronjohnsonforsenate.com. Is that right?
That's absolutely correct. And again, I'll need a lot of help and support if you want to save this U.S. Senate seat, which is crucial if we don't want the radical leftists taking over this country.
We need to hold every Republican seat, including Wisconsin. How much did you say has been spent against you, Senator Johnson? $70 million?
Over $70 million to date, yep. And again, I've got the media out to destroy me, too, which is priceless.
Oh, that's the amplification. Well, just keep coming back. ronjohnsonforsenate.com. Thank you, Senator. Have another good day on the campaign trail. Nobody works harder than Ron Johnson. Thank you, Senator.